Welcome to Back 40 Auto Works. My name's Jeremy. My friends call me Styles. Um, this is a channel about me trying to build cars with very little money and just a limited amount of knowledge, which isn't much. More than most of you probably have more than me, however. And as I go along with my projects, and there are many, I'll make several mistakes and I'll be learning things, and you guys can too. If you have seen the channel and you're still watching, thank you very much. I appreciate it. So we're going to go back on the Buick today. Got to pull some parts down in the pit. There's a pump down there I think I can use. And I got to pull the starter and alternator off the old white van down there. I don't know how far we'll get today. I'd like to pull the manifolds back off the Buick too and take them up in here. I got to do some trimming and stuff. And again, as I said, I don't know how far we'll get. It's raining kind of misty and gross out here today. I'm certainly not getting underneath the van. There's an old starter I need for it for the Buick, but it may stay there today. Anyway, we'll carry on and see what happens. I'd also like to mention at this particular point in time, even though it has nothing to do with the Buick, that I did find out that the transmission that's in the old Ram over there is one of those transmissions that you can change from four-wheel drive to two-wheel drive just by swapping the tail shaft. So, of course, I need to find out a little bit more about that. If that's the case, then the Hudson might get her Hemi after all, which would mean Jeremy pulled the motor and transmission and harness and everything out of that old Silverado for nothing. Anyway, that's the way I think, as you know. However, it's just a little tidbit of information. If anybody wants to touch on that or knows anything about that, it would be great. From what I understand, it is as simple as just changing the transfer case. Tail shaft assembly. Anyway, we'll just keep that in mind. So, I've been researching this power steering pulley problem that I have with the Buick, and gone through some forums and read some stuff online about, I need a smaller power steering pulley. Has anybody else done anything? Just reading forums and stuff like that. I've gotten a few hints that some of the V6 GM pulleys for like Monte Carlos, Buick Century, stuff like that may work. So I don't take anything that I read in these forums as an end-all be-all. So I went on to Dorman's website, because Dorman makes pulleys and a lot of other parts for vehicles. And they quite often have specifications and measurements. So I found out that the center bore for the pump for the power steering pulley, the pulley for the power steering pump for the Silverado is 0.7472. So I checked a few others, and sure enough, this Buick Century one, which is quite a bit smaller, I think the Silverado pump's about roughly 6.5 inches, and like the Century pump is pulley is like 5 1/4 or maybe even 5.10. It has the same bore size in the center of the pulley, the 0.7472. And as I went further down the list, it'll tell you what engine that pulley's for as well. It's about which is a 3.4. Now I know from working in parts and stuff over the last few years that those 3.4s are the same block as the old 3.1s. And I happen to have an old Sunbird here with a 3.1 in it. And sure enough, the power steering pump's still on it. So we're going to have a quick peek at this and see maybe what we can do. It's kind of a shame. This was an old Sunbird GT 3.1 5-speed car. I picked it up. I was driving the Sunbird a few years ago. I thought I'd pull all the ground effects and stuff off it. Spoiler and stuff, and all the Hollywood headlamps. Anyway, she's still here. Someday we may get another one, because I don't have enough projects, right? Anyway, so down here on the side of the 3.1, there is the power steering pulley. Nice little pulley and pump assembly. And I'm thinking I'm just going to cut the belt here, because I think the engine's pretty well locked up anyway. Pull the whole power steering setup. I don't know if you can see in there. He's held in by 2 bolts down there in the side of the block. Hard to see, however. So we're going to pull that pump, if nothing else, and see if we can take this pulley off. If we can't, we might even just try and see if we can make the pump itself work. And that might get us out of a jam. If not, we'll be careful pressing the pulley off. It's a composite pulley, so I don't want to crack it. I'll just have to take my time. And with any luck, this will be the fix that gets us out of that jam. And I want to say for anybody doing this kind of stuff who's new at it, research everything you possibly can, because you never know, parts might be close to home. This is a classic example of that. We're not out of the woods yet, but it might just be the fix I need. Alright, first thing to do is cut this belt off. See if we can get anything out of her. Alright. Yeah. There's a coolant bottle too, yeah. Get in there, we'll see. That one feels too. Well, she's rotten, so making it easier without. Just one cutty. These 90s cars are among the worst of this is in the way of this is in the way of this is in the way of that and everything else. I have to move the coolant bottle to get the power steering pump to get the bolts. I may even have to take off the AC line to move the coolant bottle. But she's never going back on the road. She's parts, so there might be some breaky before it's over. The one that's still holding on is good. Alright. Now you can see it now. I'm thinking there's only 2 bolts. They're halfy inchy. We could have this out in a few minutes, maybe. Maybe. We have to go get a wrench. Don't know if these rounds have a lot of that. Let's see what happens. Now, what are we going to do to get these lines out of here? Okay, so yep, 2 lines. I think I'm gonna need some wrenches. Well, be back in a minute, shop and get some wrenches and see if we can pop that off. Or I guess I could These light strips. Somebody out there had said these are the best tool there is. So I think he's got a badge in Tennessee somewhere. Anyway. All right. One power steering pump. Or possibly just the pulley. So this bore is the same size as the one for the Silverado. I think it's, as I mentioned, it's 0.7472. I may try and make this pump work because I don't know if putting this pump on, or this pulley on the Silverado pump will make it spin a little too quick because it is smaller, mechanical advantage, all that junk, Oops, spilling, making a mess. I like to do that though. So yeah, one score. Now we'll see if we get some more pieces. So here they are, side by side, or as I say in Berta, side by each. One on the right being the Silverado one, of course, and one on the left being the one we just pulled off the Sunbird. You can see the difference in the two pulleys. And I'm thinking more and more that I will just swap the pulleys, but as I mentioned earlier, it might be nice to get a little more room on the bracket. However, I need the bracket anyway for the Silverado one because, as you can see, it goes right up to the top with an idler, and that's where your alternator mounts up top there in the cradle. So I think we probably will just switch the pulleys. I was kind of a little worried that perhaps the smaller pulley might spin the Silverado pump too quick, but I think we'll just put her on and see how it goes, and if we need to put a cooler on, maybe that's something to look at. So, of course, we got to make sure that they're same distance from the pulley to the bracket. So I'll have to put a tape on them. Both are 6-rib pulleys. Again, the center bore is the same, so we'll see what happens. All right, so I've got the old pump and the bench, the vise here, and then the puller on it. And I've never used one of these before, so we'll see what happens. Apparently, you just go one way with one and the other way with the other. See what happens here. With any luck, we won't hurt ourselves. And I did measure the pulley before I need a little bit bigger ratchet for that, just to be safe. I think we'll do that. I was smart enough to put a tape measure on the pulley there and see how far it is out from the pump. We'll see what happens. It's coming off. It's going for it. It's doing too much. Yeah. So the cheap, or should I say cost-effective puller that I got off the internet didn't work. As you can see, I bent one of the main pieces. So I guess I'm gonna have to take the pump and both pumps and somewhere and have the pulleys press on and off, as I don't have the equipment to do it myself. Again, just one of the things you run into doing this kind of stuff. What seemed to be an easy solution can cause you a bit of grief. Anyway, I'll get that looked after. All right, so it's been a week since I've been out here. We've just been busy coming and going. Halloween this time of year, kids get a lot on their plates. There's parties to go to, run this one this place, and that one that place, and one's working, and we're still messing with rooms in the house and painting and moving stuff around. And so it's been a while since I get back here. Going to have to have those pulleys that I was working on removed by somebody with a better pulley puller than I have. So my thought is go down and keep pulling parts off the fan for the old Buick and see what happens from there. All right, so I'm down here at the old van. I've only got maybe about an hour of daylight left, if that. So I'm going to try and buzz this alternator off. And before the sun goes down, and if we get a chance, have enough time, I'm going to just put it right on the Buick over there. And yeah, then that's one more little job out of the way. One more step closer to firing the whole thing up. Some deep pre-pull in there. Get this air box off out of the way. Or in the van. We're going to keep it because we're going to use this motor someday too. I'm not sure what it's going in. This is the 4.8 with the 4L80. A lot of people wanted to buy this van just for the transmission. Shortly after I picked it up, I said no. Yeah, 15. Right. Before I go any farther, I'll cut that belt off. I know I should release the tensioner, but the belt's not in good shape anyway. There. Better. Obviously the tensioner ain't that great either. Doesn't seem to move much. Now, oh, it might not be that good anyway. It did spin before. Ooh. Maybe we're wasting our time here. I don't know. No. No, it seems to be freaking up a bit. Oh, we might be alright. Yeah, I think she might come free. Put it that way. Yeah. That was just luck. That don't happen a whole lot. Alright. I hope spinning. I started with this fan maybe a month and a half ago. The alternator was turning then. Can't be that bad. It's getting pretty dark here. I guess I didn't really have an hour, but let's see. Oh, she moved. Okay. This is probably not the right way to do this, but it works. That's what we got. She came out. Alright, there. She's free. Horizontal left now is right there. What is that? An 8? I would say so. Actually, it might be a 10. It is. That's what it is today, anyway. You never know. How many of you are taking bets whether or not I'll drop this? Because I usually do stuff like that. Woohoo, she's out! Get that little fella on the back so I don't lose him. Alright, one more piece. Now, I don't know how much you can tell. It's dark here. Sun's gone down. Still going to try and pop around the Buick here. If you can see her. Get some light going. You know, see what we can do. The other side of the coin is coyotes are going to be out here very, very shortly. They're not that pleasant to deal with. However, I'm down here. I only got 2 bolts to put that alternator in, so I think we'll just go ahead and pop her on. Alright, so my plan was to put that on. Like a fool, I wasn't thinking that I still need my power steering bracket to put that alternator on. The voices in my head didn't remind me that. They're telling me other things right now and what I should be doing. But anyway, yeah, so I guess that's going to shut us down for tonight. Like, again, it's getting dark. I'm dropping tools all over the place. My vice grips are down there in the puddle somewhere. I don't know if you can see them. So yeah, I'll gather what I can, and we'll be back out here a couple more days to get that on. Alright, so that's going to be it for tonight. As you saw, I forgot that I need the power steering bracket on to put the alternator on. My voices in my head are calling me lots of names over that one. Anyway, that's how she goes. It's late. Tomorrow morning I'm going to go out and try and pull the starter off that van as well, so I have it, and with any luck we'll put that on, and that'll be another step closer, and I'm hoping to get these pulleys swapped very soon so we can get the power steering and alternator on. I got to go down and pull the manifolds off, pull the busted bolts out of there so I can be firing up the generator, and I guess in the welder, and go down there and see if we can weld some nuts on them bolts and take them off and go from there. And while that's going on, I'll probably clean up the other. I have another set of manifolds over there, and I have to also trim one of the ears off the exhaust manifold where it bolts to the rest of the exhaust, the crossover pipe, I guess they call it. So it'll clear the frame of the Nova, or the Buick. I've had several of those bodies in Novas. I still call it Nova from time to time. So, and that's where we're at. See you in the morning. Morning. It's the next day. We're going to try and go down and pull that starter off the van. We get very few nice days around here. It's cold, it's autumn, it's PEI. We get like 4, maybe 5 nice days a year now. Nothing too in their rain or snow. Anyway, we'll let the girls out and I'll start pulling parts. Morning. Alright, so we're back down here at the candy van. Gonna pull the starter off, see how that goes. And brought my tape measure because I had a brief thought maybe we should measure the pulley on that. Maybe. All we need is that bracket and pulley assembly. Anyway, probably not, but we'll find out. I should point out to anybody, do not just leave your vehicle on jacks alone. Use jack stands. I have one down there, one up front. I don't know if you can see it there. For any of you who don't do too much of this stuff, don't rely on that tiny little O-ring on that jack. This whole van it weighs before 5,000 pounds itself, and it's got 2,000 pounds of motors and transmission in the back. there is the starter we need right there. Hopefully we can get her out around the transmission lines. Shouldn't be too difficult. 2 bolts on the bottom, some wires up top. We'll see what happens. Alright, so we're going to give this a shot and see how it goes. I tried a few minutes ago with just the regular 3/8 ratchet, and them bolts are C, so they said no, basically. So we will see if the bigger ratchet will break them free. I'm not 100% sure if a starter off a 4/8 will work on 5.3, and especially with this one having the 4L80 behind it. I don't know. We'll find out. It's here, so we'll try it. That's all we can do. Maybe I do not have it. They don't want to come free, do they? Alright. Now, might be fun getting them out of there. Alright. It's not a good idea either, kids. You can really hurt yourselves. I once smacked myself in the face doing this pipe, trying to bust the motor mount free and no diplomat. It was not a good day. Anyway, it will work. Once you take your ratchet back to the lifetime warranty, don't tell me to put a snipe on it. We're gonna go get the bigger ratchet. Some company down here under the van. Here they go. Had enough of me. Alright, I'll keep going now with the bigger ratchet. See how that goes. The chickens might have shut the phone off a minute ago. I don't know. Anyway, sorry my camera work is so poor. You do what you can with what you got. Sounds like my old engine lift. The bolts are out. Now the fun part comes to trying to get it out of there. See what happens. And of course I gotta let the wires go, but we'll see. She doesn't seem to want to move. Feels like it's close. I don't know if you twist it or is there enough room to twist it. She's in there. I don't know if I'm missing something. It's possible. That is definitely what it was. As you can see up here, the bolt's not quite all the way through. Of course, they season this housing, of course, cast aluminum housing, steel bolts. Aluminum and steel don't mix a lot most of the time. Anyway, as soon as we got the one bolt out of the way, she kind of fell out. We'll unhook those wires up there and see if we can put her on the Buick. All right, we're going to attempt to put the starter on the Buick up in there where it belongs. We'll see how it goes. My power steering lines went in the way. There's some lines. They're not gonna do them, are they? Well, they will now. There we go. She's gonna go. Oh, I need 3 hands here. Big problem was getting my hands in there. All right, there she is up in place. One job done. Looks like it fits okay. I can't get under there very far to know if everything's contacting all right. But anyway, she's bolted in. After we get the harness on, try to start it, we'll know she's any good. Of course, the chickens are here to inspect everything. What are you doing, girls? Hey, girls. Anyway, they're everywhere here. And that's going to do it for this episode. I got some other things I need to get done. So, I didn't get as far as I wanted to. Of course, we got the starter on. We got the power steering pulley pulled off the Sunbird. We're going to have the pulley swapped. Got the alternator pulled off the van. So, small bits of progress, but progress nonetheless. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Please like and subscribe. And with any luck, I'll have a little more done in the next video.